afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. And apologies if you can hear that noise going off in the background, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know quite what's going on. I think baby Percy hasn't had his Weetabix this morning. Other branded and non-branded cereals are available, of course. No sponsorship here at Guilecast, I can assure you. How you doing? It's good to see you. We have some tip-top pro-level ladder on the cards this afternoon. Well, actually, it's not tip-top. It's upper pro, we should call it. It needs to be a new tier in there. Upper pro. Not Joe, not lower pro, not tip-top, but upper pro on the cards this afternoon. And the best part is we've got no news or information to bring you at the beginning of this one, so we can go straight to the action. I'm ready. You guys are ready, and the players are sure as hell ready. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how these guys are going to get on. Ching. Ka-ching. That's right, and it's open palms. You know and love it well, I'm sure. An oldie but goldie. No need to spend time on describing the map. Let's take a look at our players. Up here at the top in the blue corner, it's none other than Tex, and he's rocking UEF, opening first land. And his opponent down here at the bottom right in the red corner, it's none other than TC. He's going Cybron, opening first land as well. And as I know, you guys love to explore their glorious openings, no pun intended. Let's check them out, and you guys can pass them off as yours at a later date. I know that's your thing. So there we go. So it's UEF versus Cybron, good versus evil, blue versus red, capitalist versus communist, freedom-loving libertarians versus victimized virtue signaling crybabies. It's enough of my political issues there. So what happened here? So Tex went first land, opened with 3 T1 P-Gens, adjacency bonusing up in some kind of crazy quadrilateral around that top right mechs, and a slightly similar situation here, albeit diversified. He's opening up TZ with 5 P-Gens. It's 2 initially, then skipping out to build the core mechs, and then I'm presuming he's going to come back there to the others. There we go. Let's see where he's going then. Yeah, so then P-Gen 3, 4, and 5 after the mexes. And then he's switching up, going second air and third land. We think, it's hard to say for sure what's going to get built first. They're both going to go straight for the hydros, of course. Tex, by contrast, isn't building anything near the core mass factory-wise. As soon as he's got that first section up in the core mass and those 3 P-Gens, and he's stopping at 3, not going for the 5. The other 2 P-Gens are going down here next to the hydro. He's pulling the commander out, and all the other factories going around here. Is he going second air? Yes, he is. Getting the commander to help build the hydro, and he's going to get his hydro up first. There he goes, and that bumps him to 180 power versus TZ's 120, and then he's switching up and going for that air factory. Air factory for TZ's... Oh, wow, I was going to say he's going to complete first, but he's not. Look at all the build capacity he's got there. Tex. There it goes. Air factory straight to build that air scout. So, although TZ's ahead on mass by 2, he's got 1 extra mechs up early on. He's behind in general development, so it's a toss-up as to which you reckon is more efficient there. More firepower out quicker, I'm guessing there for Tex, but marginally quicker on mass accruement. That's not even a word, I don't think, there for TZ, but you guys get the gist. TZ down by 20 power, up by 2 mass, slightly behind on air development. Scout over the top of TZ's base there. You can see the advantage of getting that done quicker. I think you can go to single screen now. You guys have got the gist of what's going on. We've got a mole out at the top right corner and a couple of mantis, one by the middle plateau there for TC and one just behind the actual mole itself on that right hand side. 2 moles, or rather a mole and a snoop there out for both guys. Over on the left-hand side, engineer coming out, but that T1 bomber that was following that scout coming straight in, going after some of these lead engineers, picks off 1, damages another, and puts a little collateral damage on a P-Gen. He'll be happy with that. Do we have any air defense on the way? 60% done on an interceptor. He'll be able to get another bombing run off, I'm sure. Scout there for Tex, picks up the air signature of the bomber for TZ, and immediately Tex locks on his own interceptor with that. ACU picks off one of those Mantis we saw earlier. Failed bombing run on that first bomber for Tex, didn't manage to pick off the engineer. Nice bit of micro there from TZ, keeps it alive but won't survive the second attempt. Surely the interceptor will kill the bomber before he gets any more off. Yes, he will. So 2 engineers down for that initial bomber there. Yeah, I'd say that was worth it. Why not? That bomber for TZ, though, shot down before he can get anything done. Mantis up here does manage to score an NG kill. That'll delay mass extractor production up at this top right-hand corner. This engineer best placed to pick up those. Still, of course, that Mantis lurking over there for some issues. Now, this is unusual. Doesn't always happen. Often you get ACUs picking alternative sides for their ACUs. Both Tex and TZ deciding to pick the right-hand side for their ACUs. Tex is probably marginally influenced by those initial ground signatures that he picked up on that side. TZ seemed to favor that side with his early spam, his early couple of units, so Tex prompted to defend. And TZ just strolling out of range before picking off that mass pump. Minor mistake there. One of those 2 Mantis dispatch. We've got quite a few strikers coming in now on that right-hand side, but Tex and TZ in very close proximity indeed with their ACUs over in the east. Air frac cars continue over the top. It does seem like air control drifting potentially towards our Cybron. Quick factory count in just a second when this slows down over here in the west. Tex losing ground to ever mounting numbers of T1 units there for TZ. Battle still going strong between our ACUs. TZ, of course, being Cybron, giving up a good 2k HP base on that ACU, so immediately at a disadvantage there. Seems to be handling things okay with the numbers of units, though. Let's take a look at land factory numbers there. What have we got? We've got 7 there for TZ. What have we got for Tex? It's 7 as well, so 7 land factories apiece for both of these guys. 39 mass for TZ versus 37. 8.2k total harvested. 8.3k total harvested versus 7.1 there for Tex. So quite a lot of mass in terms of total accruement for TZ. Reclaim. And a little bit ahead on generated eco as well. Tex continuing to be aggressive. Here's a few heavily damaged Mantis that he can pick off easily. Switches up to the ACU though. Brings in his strikers to cause more damage. We do have a T1 PD online over here, so TZ has a place he can withdraw to if it gets a little too hairy for his ACU. Tex not buying that bait, though, is continuing to push forward down here. He's going to take out this Mex, having taken out one already. TZ now down to 33 versus 35, so that little bit of pressure there from Tex puts him ahead. He's about 700 mass total behind, but this is nice work. Look what TZ's done here. He's dropped Mantis right the way down on this left side, completely stalling Tex's ability to utilize what is 4, 6, 7, 10 mass extractors on this side. He can't get a handle of. One engineer just sitting idle, and will have to remain so until Tex can alleviate the situation with some friendly forces over on that side of the maps. Meanwhile, things still very much active over on the east hand edge of the map. Tex did manage to get a couple of units down here. It's going to take a while though for that striker and that snoop to chew through all the hit points on those mass extractors. Kill the engineer though. That did cancel the build order on that land factory, so a little bit of developmental slowness there. Tex under pressure here though. Lots of Mantis, only a handful of blue tanks in the area, but more reinforcements coming in from the north as Tex backs away towards that central plateau. That allows him to target the reinforcements that are heading up that way from TZ, picking them off as they're coming in single file. He's also got more of his own reinforcements coming in to secure the plateau, and it's important for him because he's got 6 mass extractors on the plateau he'll very much want to retain control of, being as he's not able to utilize anything on this side yet at all. He has managed to sneak in a small group of tanks, 5 tanks there, taking down a couple of mexes over here. 37 mechs or mass apiece. That drops down to 35, and then it'll be 33 with the destruction of those. No, sorry, 31. So TZ up against it here, losing mass extractors all over. General map control looking pretty good, but Tech's maximizing the space, it would seem. 4 Mantis on the plateau, heading over to the other 2 mechs. Excuse me, so I said it was 3 mechs apiece up here. Well, it's not. It's 2 on each side. I really should have known that. But still, valuable resources. Engineer trying to get a plasma cannon online. Will he complete it? Yes, he will, and that's a real achievement there. He does lose the mechs, but that will take care of the rest of the Mantis. Unfortunately, loses the engineer as well, so it came at a high price. But there's another engineer heading onto the plateau now, and of course, Tex has his comm that looks like he's backing up towards the plateau as well, so he'll be able to rebuild those in good time, I should think. Radar, T1PD online up here, plus a merry band of Mantis. Do we have many Lobos? I'm not seeing any, in fact. One coming in now, so he'll need that if he wants to dislodge that point defense, but still, Tech's yet to get set up on this left-hand side. Neither player going for the top ridge mexes as yet. 11 minutes gone. It's all been pretty hairy on the ground all over, it has to be said, so you can't blame these guys for not utilizing those as yet. TZ is going to start an upgrade on his comm. Speed and range gun upgrade there. Tech's withdrawing with his units. He's going to prompt TZ to fall back with his own as well. He'll want to guard his commander, won't want to cancel that upgrade. Keep him safe. He's pretty far forward for that, but I think he's chosen a good time to go for it, as long as he's got the eco to get that done relatively quickly. Good work on the ground now by TZ over in the west once again. Let's take a quick look at kill-loss ratio. Tech's actually doing a little bit better, so the higher that is, the better. You can see that they called 2.0 Pro. I mean, it's early doors, obviously, but 1.2 versus 0.84. So Tech's doing a bit better on the kill-loss ratio. 41 now to 43, so TZ leveling that nicely, but has been doing a lot better on reclaim overall over the course of the game. 23 to 21. TZ also pretty far ahead on power by 200 or so. Lots of redundancy there. Well, I say that, he's kind of on the breadline with what he's producing. How's Tex getting along? He's not using up quite so much power. Does that mean we've got a more air-heavy strategy coming out for TZ? Certainly building interceptors and has a lot of build capacity around that air factory. Not a lot for Tex. Seems to be prioritizing his ground forces a little bit more. Engineers being airdropped over here, so this could be the first real commitment we're seeing on this side. I thought it was going to drop down here for a firebase, but no, he's going for the plateau at the bottom left-hand side, and a massive mingling of forces over here in the east now. TZ battling to keep these units at bay. That gun upgrade was completed, so that comm X amount more deadly than it was before. Tex cannot contend with firepower of that magnitude. Dropped back 11,100 hit points on the commander there. More territory being gained in the east for TZ, but I don't think he wants to continue that pressure. End up losing those forces. T1 bombers harassing the plateau, and Mantis streaming in the front door of the plateau as well. We do have a PD over here now, and of course, well, I was going to say that one over here, but that's been destroyed subsequently. After the last engagement we saw, are there any Medusas in the mix to take care of that PD? Doesn't want to be hanging in single file. Yes, we've got Medusas down here, quite a lot of them, so that goes down. TZ rolling in with the Mantis. Those mexes haven't been rebuilt, so control of the plateau now with TZ for the moment. Tex coming in with his comm though, he's repped up a bit, he's back in the green, 11,100 HP. Is he going to try and wrestle control of this back? TZ sees the danger, withdraws his forces. Is that going to prompt him to push forward in the east with his comm? Doesn't have as much support now on the ground, but remember, he's got that gun upgrade as well. 3 kills now on the scorecard for this T1 bomber, which switches its attention to the plateau, going after engineers. Has taken out all of those NGs that have been dropped up there. Nice little distance build up the cliff from one NG. Has worked on a land factory, completed it, but I think that's going to get taken down by these 4 strikers. And only just getting to work on that rear section of mass. In fact, he's got 1 mechs up previously, lost it to something, and has now brought in another engineer to deal with that. Tex finally, by the looks of things, going to get control of those rear 3 mass extractors, just as potentially TZ's about to lose his. It's a good, merry band of strikers with 1 pillar, in fact. So first T2 we're seeing on the field now for Tex, rolling in towards that back corner of TZ's. Meanwhile, pressure continuing up here at the top from TZ's commander, taking advantage of Tech's repositioned comm has been moved towards the plateau. Medusas filing past the eastern edge of that plateau, just flinging a couple of shells in towards that mechs and taking it down once again. A couple of pillars in the mix in the center now, as well as they push forward through the middle. No cohesive front line appearing as yet. Distance build employed over here in the east as well. TZ throws up a factory and is sent Mantis up there, and in fact we had a couple of engineers that looked like they were being airdropped to that top right hand corner, but Tex decided otherwise, probably lost 1 or 2 of them to these Mantis. Managed to withdraw and get those out, so nice bit of work done there. TZ wailing away on the land factory up here in the top right. Map control, well, moving in one direction up here for TZ, but then he's losing down at the bottom. Control has gone at this plateau to Tex, run by successful, nicely concealed engineer in the far corner, reclaiming the trees, going about his merry business. And now we're seeing T2 on the field, on the ground for TZ as well. Hoplite strolling out of that main base. Still at T1 air, it appears at first glance. Where are we at on air? T1 air for Tex as well. Let's take a quick look at unit numbers of general basic units there. Strikers, we've got 61 on the field for Tex. Compare that to the Mantis count of 47 overall. But we do have 25 Medusas on the field. Tex Lobo counts at 29, so not a huge amount in it. Let's count air units quickly. Well, we thought he was prioritizing air in a big way. Looks like he's not pushed that heavily. He's got 14 interceptors on the field there, has TZ. Tex, where's he at? He's got 21, so Tex actually ahead in the air game, and he's done that from a power deficit. TZ at 1.3k versus 820. Let's take another look at the kill loss ratio. Well, it's virtually neck and neck as the game has proceeded now. 96 versus 100. Or 1.0 versus 0.95, a better way to look at that. And that group of Mantis now being sandwiched by Tex. He's not going to get any of those back. Pillars rolling in. Superior firepower, tank and range. One Mantis survives to tell the horror of that attack on the right flank. Lots of blue tanks pursuing. Scary stuff indeed. Lots of T2 units, though, amassing down here. Concerned about this pressure. This whole flank has just collapsed for TZ, who's still at 2k ahead on total mass accrued over the course of the game. But is it a 2 mass unit deficit on generated eco? Reclaim playing an important role as always. T1 bombers harassing this group of units which have no archers or skyboxers in the mix. I had to think that from. Is it skyboxers or bangers for UEF? That's going to really annoy me. I should know this. How long have I been doing this? How long have I been doing this? It's a skyboxer. Going mental. Absolutely mental in the same way a koala does. Not mental at all. And then suddenly there was a lull. Having had constant to and fro, back and forth aggression between these two guys, it had to break eventually, and it was on the nose of 20 minutes. But it looks like it's ramping up again. TZ using the extensive range of that upgraded gun comm to pick off a couple of units there from that main pack. Hoplites flinging their rockets into the oncoming tanks. And I think those tanks are going to get pretty much annihilated. The last T2 units go down. And Tex's attention clearly elsewhere. That looks like control flowing back towards the Cybron player on that flank. But look at the amount of pressure that's being applied through the middle now from Tex that could even threaten the main base. We have shield gens, and we have T2 point defense, so you better be sure about this. Tex does have the gun on there. It's got the Zeph amp, it would seem, on board the commander. So both of these comms upgraded. 12k base at full health there for TZ, and 14.4k base health there for Tex. TZ facing pressure. Tex not massing in from the center as I would expect him to. He's leading with his commander but not committing all of these forces. There's a lot of T2 being relocated. We've just seen them score a big victory down here. Engineers can mop up the rest and get re-established. TZ needs those forces over here to counter this pressure coming in from Tex. TZ's comm a little bit isolated towards the north, a ways away from his next rank in veterancy, but lots of fresh hit points on the commander, so he's not in trouble as yet. Interceptors overhead, claiming control of the skies for Tex, but no gunships or bombers to take advantage of the situation there. In fact, newly produced interceptors fighting back for TZ. TZ being separated from his base, but surely this can't continue. Tex is going to have to drop back pretty soon. What looked like a very hefty group of units has been gradually thinned out. Now the counter push from TZ. Tex backing up, lots of hoplites, lots of rhinos. That's a lot of firepower. Tex could be in trouble here. Needs to be overcharging as much as possible, but he doesn't have a lot of energy in the tank to do that. He's going to overcharge when he can, I'm sure. All of the Rhinos target Tex, and his HP falls off like a slim fast diet. Look at it go, down to around 60% health. Nice overcharge, takes care of 2 and nearly 3 tanks there. He's got reinforcements, but not many. And now he's going to back up. Wise decision. A little bit more pressure there from Tex. That could have been the end of him. Nice sustained defense from TZ. And once again, things go a little quiet. We really do have a kind of homogenous front line now. It's taken 23 minutes, but a proper cohesive front line has formed. And it is, for the moment at least, in Tex's favor. Tex with control of that central plateau and has dislodged TZ from here. There's a lot of units over here. He could re-expand at any moment. Mass totals in favor of TZ quite dramatically, as you'd expect with the extra map control, 77 to 59. And Tex, for the first time, really has overtaken TZ on total mass accrued, 76 to 75k. Advantage finally being seen. Kill loss ratio has flowed towards TZ after that latest attack. That didn't go brilliantly for Tex. T1 PD over here. Wall sections not serving it too well against the T2 units. That's 4 more mexes out of commission. 77 to 42 now here. Tex in pretty good shape if he can sustain this. TZ really needs to get set up over here. Needs to get more build capacity out ASAP. Engineers are working on mexes. Lots of mass over here as well. He can be scooping. Has he got full mass? No, he hasn't. Needs to get more build capacity out over here ASAP. They are scooping as they go, but only 2 engineers. Nano repair complete for Tex. That'll help him rep up the damage from that last failed assault. In fact, he's nearly there with the help of some little NG friends there. Up in the green, looking healthy in that magnificent suit of armor. Hit the catwalk in that thing. At some strange mechanical fashion show. Have a very strong catwalk. Tex just taking pot shots with his overcharge. TC says, nope, no thank you. That's not a good place to be. He's nearly collected all of the mexes out over here now. That's bumped him back up to 59 mass, 61 mass, bouncing between there or thereabouts. Lots of air scouts being produced. Feels he's lacking on intel. Never a bad thing to glean a little bit wider knowledge. Let's take a quick T2 mex count there. So what have we got? 6 on the field there for Tex. I don't even need to go to the counter there. So we've got 4 for TZ. Tex feeling like this area is pretty safe now. Has gone for upgrades on all of those. So Tex sitting on a little bit more map control for the time being. And I do stress the time being. It's all very fluid over here. But using the space at the back more wisely. Keeping up with the tech game and inching ahead in the eco game as well. Pillars advancing meanwhile in the west. Catch TZ aligned in a poor formation there. Rhinos standing up pretty well actually to all of that pillar fire. Okay, hang on, hold the phone. Did I miss a patch or something? Rhino 1900 base HP. Has that always been the case? with the pillar at 1500? Answers on a postcard or in the comment section below if you understand what I'm talking about there. That seems new to me. Where helpful FAF-eyed dev says, Guile, that was changed 2 years ago, or Guile, that was never changed. You're talking out of your bottom orifice. Quite likely, I'm sure. Airdrop up to the top right-hand corner for text. Saying, let's change this up. What have we got? We've got 4 pillars on the ground, making a right royal nuisance of themselves. Down go the mexes, the radar. No engineers dropped in with them, so he's not looking to claim the territory as yet. This is a strike-only mission for the time being. T2 transport locked onto by TZ's Air Force, which is looking pretty, well, I was about to say pretty comfortable in that area of the map, but the interceptors drawing in now for text. 2 or 3 get there a little early, ahead of the rest of them. And they're going to score a kill or 2, but get shot down in turn. Text caught napping in the air game there, loses his T2 transport, but his attention was elsewhere, and it might well have been developing T3 and getting the first Perseus into the fight. That could be interesting. Tech 3 on the field now for Tex. 108 mass to 93. And he has fallen behind, though, in total mass accrued once again. 112 versus 110k. That will be down to all of the reclaim that's been deposited down here at the bottom right. I'm sure the rhinos have been beefed. Absolutely certain. I will not accept any argument on it. I'm certain of it. I don't remember them standing up to Perseus like that. I was always pretty sure one hit was enough. Where did all of this punching power come from? I know the T2 has been upgraded, and the thing that scares me as well is this latest patch. They're planning to nerf the T3. I think this demonstrates that the T3 nerf is fundamentally unnecessary. T2 perfectly capable of holding their own to the point where they should hold their own. Obviously they shouldn't be holding their own unit for unit. That would be absurd. Nice little run by here. In fact, a major collapse defensively in the west for Tex. TZ forcing Tex back. He's got engineers building defenses in the main base. Percival's being redistributed. I'm wondering if Tex went for the Percy production too soon. He hasn't got a lot of units to defend with now. He's lost the mass production over here, and that has dropped him behind TZ, who's overtaken him. He's 100 to 92 now. And would you look at those mass totals, 130 to 124. He's pulling away. Nice little run by in around the back as well, but there are point defenses on the ground now. One Medusa in the back should be able to take care of the PD. If TZ is looking, might stroll too close to the defenses though, and indeed he does. Now, large portion of that T2 force being redirected now. That could wipe out Tex, and of course, as we stated before, we've got 3 T2 mexes back here. Tex will not want to lose those at any cost. And we have Loyalists on the field for TZ. Not going straight for the bricks. And we've got some gunships on the field as well. 5 renegades hovering about the field, and they just missed the drop actually at the top right. Probably took out the last of those pillars that were airdropped up there earlier, which also looked like they'd taken out that factory. But engineers airdropped in afterwards, and they're going to, I'm sure, get to work on a factory and some mexes or 2. That would leave Tex in control of both of the plateau corners. Goodness me, though. T1 PD, aren't you holding up nicely to those single file rhinos rolling in without artillery support? Tex will be thinking, that's just fine. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Nice little mass gift for later. Loyalists and lots of T1 with a few T2s in there, trying to contain a couple of Percys and a few pillars over here. Last little zap picks off one of those loyalists. Percy's in the center, doing good work on the ground, but not much they can do about the renegades that are full-on twatting them from the sky. And they can operate pretty comfortably. Look at the size of that T1 Air Force from TZ. 31 interceptors on the field, and they've scored a pretty good defeat against Tex's Air Force that's been whittled down to just 5. Gunships looking like a very viable harassment option now. Actually, Corsairs are in production, those fighter bombers. So TZ looking very flexible on tactics right now. Tex looking pretty bewildered by all of this pressure that seems to have come out of nowhere. 158, 159 to 153 total, 126 versus 99 on generated. TZ well ahead here. Having come from behind, Tex looked pretty comfortable for the first 25 minutes or so. Last remaining Percival in the center, about to be torn apart by those gunships. Interestingly, engineers didn't manage to get a land factory online up here, and now, if there's one PD apiece, Cybron and UEF out of range of each other. At least I think they're out of range. Yeah. I don't know why that one isn't opening up on the very visible and in range Cybron NG. Some strange collaboration going on there. Loyalists sneaking in around the back. Lots of T1 point defense online over here. Well, only 3. One of them's been taken out. No, 4, excuse me. Another one further in the back. But now, having driven Tex off the plateau, having gained air control, TZ needs to do something with this. Corsairs take out the NGs over here before that land factory is completed, so he also wrestles control of that top right corner away from Tex. 162 to 90 now in favor of our Cybron. This is quite a remarkable turnaround. And I really think it all stemmed from Tex's push to go for Percival's. Felt like maybe he wasn't as far ahead as he thought in terms of eco. And he spent too much on too few units. Left him too thin on the ground, and TZ has since capitalized. Although, problem on the ground now in the west for our Cybron player. That's a pretty significant number of Percivals. Corsairs come in, go straight after the anti-air. Skyboxer's taken out, so he can now work on the Percys from the sky. It's going to take them a long time to kill those off, though. A lot of hit points to chew through. One railgun gets picked off by a T1 bomber. That's good utilization, unit utilization there from TZ. Keeping the T2 units in play where they're needed. Tech's working up for an airstrike, though, on the Corsairs. One Corsair down. The rest heading for home. 2 down. The rest of those inties surely going to get taken out. Restoring control for TZ once again. But it has bought those Percivals more time to get somewhere soft and jangly. They're on the way towards the main base. What have we got in terms of defense? We've got 2 Cerberus turrets outside of the shield. If the pressure keeps up, they wouldn't last long, but in sight of what's in the middle, Tech's not going to push it, especially not with all of the air pressure. 2 more Percys down. And what was a formidable looking force, now looking slightly peaky. "37 minutes gone, and it is still, well, I say largely even." Is that reclaim related, or Tech's just jumped from 100 to 126 on mass? No, I think that's his actual eco. 126 to 136, maybe it's reclaim related. 126 looks like his actual, and 150 there for TZ, so there's a good 25-point deficit. Bottleneck on power for TZ dropped him down into the hundreds. Very briefly. That's something TZ's working on rectifying. And that was the problem. Went straight to build a Monkey Lord. Got about 1/5 of the way through it. And thought, I've got the power to do this. I can't cripple my economy for that length of time in a battle that's this narrow. I need to get power operational first. So going for an ion reactor. Going to take him a while to get that complete, but still, that is going to be the first experimental on the field. 38 minutes in. Just no chance of one getting put out sooner. It's been a gutter war, this game. And you look at the amount of wall sections over here that these Percys are tangled up in. So many Corsairs as well. Looking to get in, hit those high-value targets, those Percivals. High hit point targets, get in with their big alpha strike and get out before retaliation. Moving down over here as pressure is applied once again. TZ not going for bricks to defend. That would be the natural choice. Instead, he's working on one very high value punching unit. Interesting to see it, whether he uses it defensively or offensively. Percival's just in range of, well, just about everything. Taking fire from shielded Cerberus turrets, taking fire from the skies. Now in range of the ones over here. I don't think you're going to get a lot done there. You might pick off an emplacement or 2, but is it worth the Percivals you're going to expend? TZ overcharging with the comm. Going to lose a T2 P-Gen, but the ion reactor is online, so he's got redundancy there on power generation, and the Monkey Lord, a mouse's sneeze away from completion. Tech's getting great work done with these Percivals now when you consider how far behind he was just a moment ago. He's still behind on eco, 156 versus 136, but the map control that he's managed to fight back. I'm wondering if that would have been the case had TZ switched to brick production. It's a little bit like what happened when Tech's first switch to Percival production. That really huge expenditure. And Monkey Lords aren't great versus Percy's. Not sure this would have been my play. Certainly look a lot better when you can keep them out of range of the Percy's and kill them off before they can fight back. Taking minimal damage there and zapping for Percy's. Could he sneak through and cause some damage up front? Tex has a shielded com with nano repair and the Zepham, so he's pretty chunky. Might be able to cause some major problems there. Monkey Lord pauses for a moment on the ridge. The other concern. If he moves forward with that one super unit that he's ploughed all of his eco into, how does he fare on defense? And he's already losing factories down here. 2 air factories destroyed. Cerberus turrets are down over here. He's about to lose 2 more P-gens. If Tex is paying attention, definitely needs to send these in. Targets of opportunity in range. Down goes one T2 P-Gen. Down can go another. While he's building that Monkey Lord, that can cause problems, but he needs to target it. It's not worth holding on to those Percys. They're not going to outrun the Monkey Lord anyway. Oh, that drives me freaking insane. Kill the P-Gen, yes! Down it goes. I'm completely impartial in every respect, of course. Can I just say, alright, if that was happening in the other way around, I would have been annoyed as well if the bricks hadn't killed the UEF P-Gen. Just putting that out there. What has that done to TZ? Well, it's made no difference anyway. There's so much redundancy on power. Monkey Lord cutting off the escape for the Percivals. They're going to head south. And would you look at what's gone on down here. 2 Percys with 3 flak there to protect them from the skies. Now, no, lots of flak in fact. Lots of skyboxes around. Just picking off units. So that's 3 T3 mexes that could be on the way out. Focusing now on mass storage. That's a curious decision. Oh my god, killed the T3 mexes. And TZ down. Is that power locked? No, that's not. What has happened to TZ's eco? He's losing T3 mexes. He's lost so much eco from the fringe. This is horrendous. He's lost 100 mass in the last couple of minutes. And that's not power lock. That's actual mass generation. He's gone from the 150s to 53. Spectacular batting collapse from our Cybron player. He's got 2 Monkey Lords online now. A third is on the way. It's going to take him frickin' forever to get that complete. Well, maybe not. He's not building anything else, it would seem. Lots of prioritization on that Monkey Lords. Maybe if you can get enough, a critical mass of Monkey Lords together, which is a scary thought, and punch through towards the main base. One, he could still close this out, but it's not looking good. 174 to 53. Yes, he's 30 odd K in total mass accrued over the course of the game. We have Ravagers, the odd Ravager online in the base now. They're generally pretty bad for Monkey Lord's health. But there are 2 of them. Corsairs coming in to assist as well. Tex near the front. He's going to have to get fast and loose with his com. Throw in some overcharges. Look at a chunk of health taken off there by that com. There's another one over here. He hasn't sent them in. He's worried about all of the Percivals, of which there are many still in the main base. 3rd Monkey Lord online for TZ. If he can keep these other 2 operational, that would be ideal, but that's taken a lot of damage. It's only a 1-star experimental, so it could gain a lot back in veterancy if it can score some easy kills. But once again, Percy's moving in the western approach. They get hoovered up by that new Monkey Lord, but still, that's surely not sustainable, this eco situation. 51 to 172. I can't believe how this has turned around. And not only that, would you look at the audacity of Tex? He's airdropping engineers in here to reclaim these T3 mechs now and presumably set up shop for himself. That will effectively encircle TZ's forces on the field. TZ has lost control of that top right-hand corner. Not looking good after a fantastic comeback in the mid-game, mid to late game essentially. Now losing it in the ultra late game. And I'm not sure how. I really do think the Monkey Lord production was a bit of a mistake. If he'd counted with mass brick while he was ahead on eco, he could have maintained map control. That's just a theory. These guys generally know more about me, just about everything. If you could ask us some trivia on farming, I'd probably still lose. Not that I'm a farmer. I don't even like to garden. That Monkey Lord with 2,300 hit points left, and surely we can get a breakthrough for our Cybron player now in this top corner. Would you look at all of that power storage? Is that really necessary? Well, it's certainly all going to go up in one go. One stray round from those Monkey Lord's cannons, and a whole lot will go up. Too late to see what the power storage was at. Down it goes. Only T2 mechs is up here, so the loss won't be quite as devastating as the loss was for TZ when he lost his bottom corner. Bottom? Where am I from? London. Not from London. Pronunciation slip there, excuse me. Apologies for that. Scary looking group of Percys on the central plateau. Now T3 air production being royally prioritized. TZ spitting out strap bombers. He's got 3. That will have been scouted now, the fact that we've got some T3 air on the field. What's going on here in terms of airplay? Find where the lead air factory is. Do we even have T2 air? We don't even have T2 air, I don't think, for Tex. We do have an experimental on the way for him. He's working on a Fat Boy. "47 minutes gone in this one. Pretty crazy ladder match, it has to be said. That Monkey Lord we saw up the back tears through the back, and now coming around, completing full circle the conquest around Tex's base. No danger of it being taken out from the air. There's no air tech on the field for Tex, as we discussed earlier. 3 strap bombers out. Is he revealing his hand too early? Going after the Percivals. He doesn't like those, causing huge damage. Well, there wasn't really a snipe on the cards, I guess. We've got flayers in the main base. Texas comm heavily shielded, not only from those base shields, but also from the personal shield on board there as well. Monkey Lord out in the west, picking off expensive units there. Mass aerial bombardment now ensuing from our Cybron player. Stealth mode enabled. Try and give them as much cover as possible. How many Monkey Lords are we up to? So we've still only got 3 on the field. Only 3 on the field. But Tex very nearly in play with his own operational experimental. That will give him some versatility in the field, although it's a scary time to get one online when your opponent has air control, air superiority, and is already harassing your T3 units with strap bombers. That would worry me. I wouldn't want to get that thing out of range of the base until I knew I was at least at a point where I could take down those strats with some air units of my own. Courier en route with a couple of NGs taking fire from the Monkey Lord. Ooh, loses an engineer on board, but somehow manages to make it to the plateau with just 20 hit points left. One Percival up there for company. So Tech's going for it, but TZ says, no, you're not having that. Strat Bomber going after the Percy, 60 hit points left for him, and now 0. Gunships brought out, no joy for you, sir. Renegades taking care of those without any difficulty, and a fresh group of NGs airlifted in for TZ means he will have control of that plateau once again. Interceptors dispatched to deal with the Renegades. They're going to evac and utilize that Monkey Lord's air capabilities. And the Fat Boy is more or less complete. Tex has been whittled down somewhat. Remember, he was in the 170s a while ago on Eco. 131 now versus 89 from TZ. Still not back into triple figures. Let's have a look at the kill-loss ratio. Well, look at that. Still neck and neck after all this time. It really has been a tight fight, this one. And now we've got whalers on the field as well. So majorly utilizing this air advantage he's got. Whalers not going to fare brilliantly against huge quantities of skyboxes, but if TZ carries on producing strap bombers, you can get in, drop the bombs, kill the Fat Boy, and get out before the flak can really cause any problems. Interceptors in around the back, they're going to get harassed and ultimately picked off. TZ control K'ing redundant buildings in his base, utilizing every scrap of mass that he has, and total mass now over the course of this game: 338k for TZ, 354k for Tex. So Tex has really now asserted himself in this game, moving onto the plateau. Massive ground cover for the Fat Boy with those Percivals to fight back against the Monkey Lord that might try something nasty, and lots of skyboxers to contend against the air threat. I still think he should try and get in at an angle and take it out with those strats, but it's the whalers that are on the move. What can TZ see? Well, you can see we've not just got skyboxes down there, we've got Cougars as well, the rapid fire anti-aircraft cannons, sure to shred anything that comes their way. And they're going to have to do something about this Fat Boy. You look at the range on it, just a little bit further forward, doesn't even need to leave the plateau, and a lot of these frontline structures, T3 mechs and whatnot, will be under threat. Got a Monkey Lord on each side here and here, and one a little bit further north, perhaps looking for this force to move forward in on the main base, so send this 3-star Monkey Lord in at an angle towards the eastern edge of Texas base. But remember, we've got Ravagers in here now. I'm not sure how many. Let's have a look. Well, there's a massive bank of Ravagers protecting the commander. Fringe eastern edge of the base still vulnerable though. Potential kills there. Whalers taking fire as they try and get a firing solution on the Fat Boy. The Fat Boy has taken some fire. In come the Redeemers. Those two get shot down. The Whalers brought in as well. He senses the danger, but they're not going to last long against all of that flak. Will they even get the shield down? Yes, they do. Chunky as they are, there's just too much flak in the area. The Fat Boy survives. In come the Loyalists to try and kill it off. There's too many Percivals on the ground. Tex holding the high ground in the middle. Another strap bomber inbound. Gets the bomb away. Shield still not off. 25% of the Fat Boy's health knocked off there. In came the Monkey Lord and managed to pick off a couple of factories off that eastern edge like we thought he might. Is he going in around the back? That's he's now on the run from base defense Percivals. He can outrun them pretty comfortably. There's not a great deal of damage that can be dealt at the back. There's only T1 mexes, but this is pretty scary. TZ trying to counter with a megalith, but I'm very doubtful he's going to get that online in time. The threat is very much on his doorstep right now. 55 minutes gone. Could this be the conclusion of the game we're witnessing right here? Percivals line up to kill the Monkey Lord. Down it goes. He's even sending in the old Mantis to try and contend. They're not going to last long at all. Percival's moving in on the front line of the base, and that megalith isn't even 25% complete yet. The Monkey Lord stationary around the base of Tex. TZ's entire attention focused on his own base, which is surely about to die. TZ outside of the base can only witness from afar. And that is surely game right there. Tex strolls in the front door. If this gets casted by Guile, you'll never see me on FAF again. I swear I didn't read that when I checked this replay through. TC control cases com. I swear. Oh my god, and Tex streamed it as well. I swear I didn't. I didn't read that. And can I just say, everybody now needs to make TZ feel better, because I don't think he played bad that game at all. He clawed it back in the middle. He didn't manage, but we need to make him feel better. Can everybody just in the comments just tell TZ how much they love him and how wonderful he is at FAF? And not just in the comments, message him on FAF as well. Send him messages on FAF, even if he's offline. Send him messages. Tell him how wonderful he is and that we love him and he mustn't leave just because of this game, because our community would be the poorer for it. He's a wonderful, wonderful... He's going to get harassed now. He's going to get harassed. That would be quite awful. Could I get done for inciting harassment? I don't want him to be harassed. I'm trying to get everybody to tell him how brilliant he is, because that's unfortunate. And I honestly, I think it came down to not going for brick production. Otherwise, it could still be going now. Brick production, and then maybe a megalith instead of the Monkey Lords, and that could have been a very different game. Very interesting, though. Very interesting game. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I certainly did. There's always more to come from me in the future. Don't forget, if you feel so inclined, you can support me on Patreon. Every penny helps, and your support not only helps me, it helps, by extension, the channel, and by extension, again, the community. So thank you in advance if you feel generous enough to indulge me with your support. But until next time, guys, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.